Hello, Michelle. My name is Stephen. When I was here a few weeks ago, I was talking to someone, possibly. Holy shit. REM pod. Hello? Michelle? Was that you?
So this video is going to be a bit different. We recently investigated a location called the Haunted Museum in Nottingham. As you've just seen from the very first clip of this video, there's a section where the Melrem triggers, I've just got a name and I start calling out and I get the REM pod triggers and it starts activating.
What's your name?
Michelle.
I was talking to someone, possibly. Holy shit. REM pod. Hello?
And we got a comment from a user called One and Justice for All, who questioned it, which is perfectly fine. We've been doing the paranormal now for 5-6 years, probably longer than that, but on YouTube we've been doing it for quite a few years, and that's what we've always wanted to try and put across. We want the audience to ask questions. Don't just take everything at face value, ask questions. And that's exactly what One and Justice for All asked. And the question is, at 8 minutes 37, Steve conveniently turns the camera angle as the Melrem activates. I call BS. Sorry, unless you can prove otherwise, I'll openly and publicly apologise if I'm in the wrong here. Can't say fairer than that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show multiple camera angles of the Melrem activating. There's a static camera that's on me. I'm holding a camera, and I'll even show Griff's camera footage just to show that he isn't really messing around or manipulating anything. So here's the footage.
Hello, Michelle. My name is Stephen. When I was here a few weeks ago, I was talking to someone, possibly. Holy shit. REM pod. Hello? Michelle? Was that you? Hello, Michelle. My name is Stephen. When I was here a few weeks ago, I was talking to someone, possibly. Holy shit. REM pod. Hello? Michelle? Was that you? It's getting good straight away, man. It's getting good straight away. I asked for a name. It said Michelle. REM pod starting going off on the bed.
So as you can see, I'm a good 4 foot away from the Melrem on the bed. I'm not touching anything. I'm not using anything to activate it. It just triggers at a perfect opportunity at a perfect time. What I'm going to do now is actually show what Griff's doing at that exact time. Here's the editing software, and I'm just going to show you guys right now that the footage it's synced up, So if I just press play.
Don't forget you came to heading downstairs.
So this is how we basically do a lot of our videos. We sync it all up.
I mean, look, just to show people that what we used to use and what we use now.
Crazy, isn't
It is.
So then the camera's set up, synced.
it?
Right, so let's go to the REM pod section.
Hello, Michelle.
So,
My name is Stephen.
spirits, jinns,
When I was here
ghosts,
a few weeks ago,
anything that you like to be called.
I was talking to someone.
Who is a psychic? What is a psychic? And are you here with me?
REM pod. Hello? Michelle?
So as you can see, there's no cuts in the video. The cameras are perfectly synced. He's not doing anything. I'm not doing anything. And just to prove it, here's when I go downstairs.
Choose the camera to it fast, so I don't know.
Here's the footage of me going downstairs, and it's all still synced up. So you can see that there is
I
no
was coming down with all the things.
trickery or anything like that.
So I was just like walking down, falling basically. That's what I said. I said if anything happens down
Griff's
there,
legendary camera angles facing the wall.
then you're fucked, because how are you going to get them fast?
You can't.
So that's what I said. I said to the spirit, I'm vulnerable down here.
Blessed.
That's 3 times.
Is it?
Yep. And it says the same stuff all the while.
Blessed.
So for me, personally, it said blessed 3 times.
That's good, because remember, obviously I was getting
What
that
the
last
hell?
time, weren't
Oh, this light's full. We need new lights.
I? Yeah.
So there you go. So as you can see, Griff is doing his own thing down in the basement. And, you know, he's got no devices in his hand to trigger off the REM pod or anything like that. It's just a REM pod going off. Do I believe a spirit touched it and triggered it? I don't know. It's an experiment. It didn't happen again during the rest of the night, so it's quite interesting. I do want to point out the Ghost Tube app. You know, I know, you know, people who don't know us or anything like that, we're very skeptical of the Ghost Tube. Very, very skeptical. But it's a fun tool to use just to see what it comes up with. That night, it seemed to be firing on all cylinders. It got names when we asked. When Griff is standing down in the cave section, standing next to a bunch of ashes, and he comes through saying Rose, and there was a lady down there called Rose who donated her ashes. When Soph is holding George, and he kept coming up with these words, like he was talking. It's pretty fascinating, but again, I wouldn't claim it as proof of the paranormal. It's just one of those. It's an interesting moment, and you guys can make up your own mind on it. So hopefully that clears up the REM pod situation for one and justice for all. Again, he's not doing anything bad, he's not doing anything wrong, he's just calling out to be very skeptical. That's perfectly fine. I'm very skeptical. I would have probably asked the very same thing. So hopefully this footage just shows you, listen, I'm nowhere near the REM pod, it triggers itself. So while I'm at it, I might as well do another kind of request, or I don't know if you'd even call it a request. It was more of an accusation, I suppose. So this was over actually on the Shapes video, and he had a comment from Nostalgia 5097, and he reads, Danny needs to tell us how the Ouija brothers do their stuff. I'm not convinced they're as truthful as they make out. Also, it seems very convenient that they would cuddle up to Mr. Grey, Beardo and yourself, and things are happening in every video they do now. First 20 minutes of their last video is where they slipped up big for me, but you guys won't go near them because they befriend you. See how long it takes a Ouija brothers to cuddle up to Danny. So that's quite a full-on, you know, that's a full-on comment, that is. Ouija brothers to cuddle up to Danny. I will say we've been friends with Danny for quite a few years. Got no issues with him. You know, we've actually bumped into him a few times while we've been exploring and filming, and he's always been sound with us. He's always been nice. So it's not going to take us long to cuddle up to Danny, because we've been friends with Danny for about 4 or 5 years as it is. So So that comment says, you know, very recently, every video that we do now, we get activity, and it's simply not the case. Like, I actually went back to like look through the last 10 of our videos, and very, very little happens. We did have the episode where the voice kept saying, you know, I love you, I love you. That was just absolutely insane. But after that, not a lot. I mean, there was one video where a stone was dropping or rolling or, God forbid, being thrown. But again, I wouldn't class that as paranormal activity. We don't know exactly what was causing it. But other videos, not a great deal happened. Yeah, okay, 2 meter goes off. But that's just a device, you know, we're very skeptical over devices. As for cuddling up to Mr. Gray and Beardo, what can I say? I like watching these guys. You know, it's some of the only paranormal stuff content that I actually watch is Beardo and The Shape and Mr. Gray and Purple. And I do watch a few paranormal channels as well, but I mainly just watch the debunkers, because when you do the paranormal, as much as me and Griff do, the last thing you want to do is watch more paranormal. You know, we're out, we're filming, we're recording. I'll come home, I'll sort out all the footage, I'll start editing all the footage for 2-3 days, and then I have to re-watch, and then I have to start doing a thumbnail and uploading it and all this other stuff. It takes so long, and the last thing I want to do is watch more paranormal content. But the debunkers, I enjoy them. You know, I like the sense of humour, and the kind of doing a message that, like what me and Griff are trying to say, you know, try and pushing out the truth of not everything is what you think it is. So that's why we support, and why I love working with those guys, because I consider myself one of those as well. You know, we're just a bit different because we go out in the field looking for, you know, the paranormal, where they just kind of deconstruct and show people what other people are doing for trickery. So when he said the first 20 minutes, I was like, what video is he even on about? Then I thankfully found, he actually did leave a comment on our page. It says, he actually was in a reply, and he goes, another brilliant video, the K2 is really confusing me. And then obviously Nostalgia jumped in and said, what's confusing me is Griff asking the spirit to stop the beeping when Steve comes back. Steve comes back and the beeping stops. Are we all just going to ignore that? Acknowledge as paranormal? No? Okay. Well, I guess Ouija brothers are 100% controlling the narrative then, and didn't want to bring any attention to it. But we can kind of show what I'm actually doing. I'm going to show more raw footage. So this is going to go on for about 5 minutes. The only thing that I actually have at that moment is I only have my lapel. So the lapel I'm wearing right now, because I have to go downstairs to get the camera, because I forgot the locked off camera downstairs. So we just set the cameras up. Griff does a little bit of a visual. I go downstairs go downstairs. And as you're going to hear, I'm going to just show the 2 camera angles that we have recording, which are both on Griff. But you're going to hear my lapel, but you'll hear Griff's just very slightly, just so you can hear what he's doing and what he's talking. But my microphone is going to be the loudest out of the 2. So you'll just hear me walking around, going downstairs, going in my bag. I am going to mute one section because I do go to the toilet and no one wants to hear me taking a piss. Well, I don't think anyone wants to hear that. So you'll hear me going to the door, and you'll hear me unzip my trousers. You might hear the first splash, and then the audio will be muted, and then the audio will come back on as I'm flushing the toilet and washing my hands. And you'll see that I haven't got no device. I'm not there triggering anything. I don't even have anything to trigger the Mel Rem going off. But one thing he does, as he talks about us controlling the narrative, it's pretty funny, because when I do go back up there with my camera, the Mel Rem actually starts to trigger again, and you can hear the Mel meter triggering. And there's actually there's sections in the video where I actually disable the Mel Rem and then turn it back on. So it's not like it's not going off when I'm not there, because it is. You can see it in the footage, and if you watch the main video, you'll see it. So it's not me downstairs triggering a device or anything like that.
Now, this is one of the K2 meters, and we only have 2.
I left the locked off camera downstairs. I'm going to go get it.
Where did you want to put it?
Just even if it's here. Just so it's got a wide...
Turn that off and I'll do a quick loud thing for 5. pointless me sitting up here.
I'm going to be about like 2 seconds.
You will. You'll be about 3 minutes, I guarantee.
Can I leave this? Do you want to go in the dark?
Yeah.
I'll keep this one on.
That's what I mean. Keep it on me, but
Yeah.
and then I'll just do a quick call out thing.
Right. I'm just going to go get the.
So it's 3 minutes, eh?
Yeah.
They can be put somewhere, wherever.
We'll just
Good
tell
evening.
them what I'm doing.
Yeah, I will. Alright, so Stephen's heading downstairs to fetch the camera. I'm going to stay up here on my own. I've got into the complete dark. I've got no torches. I've got nothing. We've got 2 ghost tube apps running. We've got the K2 meter on the table where it was kicking off before. We've also got the Melrem set up. So I'm going to see if we can get something. Spirit, Stephen is leaving now. Can you come up here and say hello? Come and say hello to me. It's not difficult. If you had all that energy before, using it on the table. I've heard people saying they can pull clothes. They can do that kind of stuff. So come and pull my clothes. It's just started. It's just started. I've just called out for someone and it's just started. If this is you trying to communicate with us, Spirit, you're going to have to make it go to red. You're going to have to make it go up to red, please. If you want me to believe that there's a spirit controlling this device in front of me, you are going to have to make it go to red. John? Say hello to me. They're amazing. There was a figure just standing. Please come and talk to us. Do you like the devices? Is that why you play with them? We have many devices set up.
Here we go.
So come and talk to me. The Tudor times were difficult, wasn't they? So. So I believe that I'm talking to a spirit here. I do believe that. I don't talk Morse code or binary. So is there any chance that you could actually say some words? If you stop before Stephen comes back up, then I know that you just want to talk to me. So, can you do something wild before he comes back up? Do something that'll get me out of this house. Go on. Or are you scared? It in which case I'm asking you not to be scared.
Because I'm not going to hurt you.
Am I evil or are you evil? Which one is it? Stephen's coming. Are you scared of him? If so, make a bang.
What's that noise?
As soon as you left, it started kicking off.
With the K2?
Everything.
You're joking.
Where's it go? The K2 was going off. The heat temperature on that was going off. Like literally as soon as you left.
Why is that happening?
I was just talking, and then all of a sudden it was.
Everything.
Yep. So I've had Nancy come up on this.
Is that the K2?
Yep. No, that's that. Stop resetting it. Well, we're trying to communicate, and you're just there turning it off.
Yeah, we don't know that.
It doesn't matter if you what you want to hear. It adds a suspense. Do we?
Oh, something like that. Right then.
Do you want me to carry on?
Yeah. So as you can see, I can't even hear Griff. You know, he's on the top floor. I'm actually out of the building, getting my camera from the other section. So hopefully that kind of clears everything all up. And if it doesn't, then that's all I've got. You know, that's all I've got to show. You know, believe what you want. And I think that's it. I think that's all I wanted to kind of address. You know, I do like people trying to, you know, ask these questions of what are you guys doing? What's happening there? And thankfully, we've got the footage and we can actually show exactly what's going on and what's happened during that section. We can't do it for every video. You know, I usually keep about a month's worth of videos on my PC before I have to erase them and delete them, because we film everything in 4K. And when you have 4 cameras, drone footage, microphones, lapels, it takes up a lot of hard drive space. I mean, I think each investigation we do, it's around about 300 gigabytes worth of data. And when we film so much, sometimes twice, 3 times a week, we can't keep it. You know, I haven't got the space. So I do try and keep them for a month in case something like this comes up where people call us out and go, listen, show us this, show us that. Seems too good to be true. And we're like, okay, so we can show it. That's why we've been able to show these 2 investigations, because I've still got the raw footage. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. And yeah, you know, if you're new to the channel, if you want to keep supporting the real paranormal, please subscribe to me and Griff. It does mean the world to us. And if you want to see more videos like this where we go through comments or, you know, debunk stuff or show more raw footage or whatever like that, let us know down in the comments and we can easily make that happen. So yeah, we'll see you on the next one, guys.